All right, so good morning again to everybody. We are back with you for another segment of our Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. And it's the excitement that's bubbling, it's brewing, it's spilling over. We are going to be heading into another Vincymas session for another year. On the line, we have joining us Mr. Bomani, Orande, Randy, Charles. Morning to you.
Good morning, Roleza. Good morning to the listeners of WEFM. A pleasure to be here this morning.
All right. So, Randy, well, Bomani, what do we have in
But
store for this?
you can call me Randy, of
That's
course. You can
fine.
call me Randy.
Persons who's calling Randy.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So, what is in store for us for Vincy Mass this year?
Well, we have a whole lot in store for Vincymas 2025. As you would have heard by now, I'm sure, there's a new CEO at the helm of the Carnival Development Corporation, and a few extra hands have come on board this year. So, an entire review of the programming, of the events, of the activities, of the venues, a rebranding exercise, a reshaping, a rethinking has been on the way, and we are very, very excited to present the results of those consultations, those meetings, and those discussions, which has taken the form of the beginning of the launch of Vincymas 2025 dubbed Start, which will be taking place tomorrow at the Annisville Tarmac. So we're very excited to present the full calendar of activities for Vincymas 2025.
All right. All right. So, let's take it step by step in stages. All right. So, I know that the pre launch is happening today. What are we to expect with this pre launch?
Right. So the idea behind the pre-launch was sort of a re-engagement of the traditional elements of Carnival, as we have known throughout the years. There are generations now who may not be very familiar, so we're using the opportunity to sort of reintroduce some of those concepts, the boozy back and the traditional Juve elements, mass, pan around the neck, and so on. So we'll be in, an acoustic procession around Kingston, which will begin at 4 p.m. this afternoon. The components will gather at the Savings and Cooperative Bank there on B Street, Heritage Square area, and we will have that procession along B Street all the way down to where everybody knows as Yankee, and then we turn up there, right?
Okay.
And then we're back on Back Street and make our way up to Heritage Square again. Now, en route uh, on this procession, there will be opportunities for performances, live performances of traditional, an expression of traditional Vincymas culture, right? So there'll be dance troops and walk state walkers and so forth. And they'll be at particular intervals stop, engaged with the onlookers to give them an idea of what the culture used to look like and what it was built on, right? So these are traditional elements woven into our presentation for Vinci Mass 2025. As we look forward and as we innovate, we always have to remember where we started, why we're out on the streets reveling, and you would see these elements contained in the presentation.
Okay. I noticed in the ad that something was mentioned a funeral band. I wasn't sure if I was hearing correctly. Was that what was being said?
Yes, well, that has become a very unique aspect of Vincentian culture, and as we know, Carnival is a sort of a melting pot of all aspects of Vincentian culture coming together at a particular period of time in the year. But over the years, we've seen this. I think it sort of came out of the pan around the neck culture, used particularly at funerals to make the funeral procession and the celebration of life of the deceased. I guess sort of a celebratory atmosphere, and that has sort of seeped into other events as well. So those guys that normally go around playing at the funerals have sort of become part of the fabric of Vincentian culture, and we thought it would be a good thing to include them in that presentation as well. So they will be a part of the procession, this afternoon and be at the parade.
Okay. So we're joined now by Mr. Ezzy Roberts. So Ezzy, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning to you and to the listeners of WEFM, wherever they are. Good morning to the other folks presenting on what's happening this weekend relative to Vincymas.
Okay. All right. So Bomani took us through what is happening today, right? But Bomani, before I head off over to Ezzy to tell us about tomorrow, can persons actually join in the well the procession? I have
Yes, yes.
yeah, can they
Sure.
actually jump in and join?
As I mentioned, it would be an engaging procession, and the troops, the performers, because it's over 170 performers that have been engaged to lead the procession in various sections, and they all will be engaging with the onlookers, and of course, onlookers are free to join the procession because that's what carnival is about. It's about engagement and enjoyment and participation. So
Hmm.
persons can join if you wish. Of course, there will be a certain level of structure and order.
Hmm.
We don't want to disrupting the presentations per se because there will be dance, choreography, and so on. But you're free to join and enjoy the procession. And as we get to Heritage Square, where there will be an line set up there. You see a stage and holding areas and so on. Would be for later on where we would have presentations by various artists who were asked to come by and promote their new material for 2025. So
Ah, okay.
and we'll use the opportunity as well to promote tomorrow's official launch on the tarmac.
All right. So Ezzy, this is where you jump in. What's happening tomorrow at the tarmac?
Well, so at the tarmac, a whole lot of things will be happening tomorrow, and we have some excitement there. We know that people forces are coming out in their numbers. So for those who have not had an update, I'll just give an idea of what will be taking place tomorrow. All right. We're doing a big launch of Vincymas. First of all, it is based on different things. There's a name attached to it. Normally, the launch is just called the launch of Vincymas this year. Of course, with new persons on board, new CEO, and new innovations, new ideas, and so, and the cooperation of the team and the various subcommittees, the board, and everybody, we're all on board, ensuring that Vincymas 2025 kicks off in grand style, right? So, the event is called Start, and it is an appropriate name for an event to kickstart the festival, Vincymas. And let's
Ezzy? Ezzy? Pigeon Ezzy? All right, Randy, you could probably jump in until he comes
Yeah,
back.
Michael got out there. Yeah. Yes, well, as Mr. Roberts mentioned, the tarmac, Annisville tarmac has been transformed into, well, one of the most elaborate venues I've ever seen. It's three phases, three areas of engagement where we begin at the top of the tarmac with another procession, another jump up. Yeah, we're going to be jumping up from the top of the tarmac all the way down to where the official area where all the infrastructure is. And there two zones in that area. We've created a corporate booth for our sponsors and partners where they will be invited to set up areas for display of their services, products, and engage with the patrons as they enter the venue. And the main staging area where we have a pretty large stage set up and bars for the components, food by the components, pan mass and calypso. Those areas of vending is reserved for the traditional components of Vincy Mass, pan mass. There'll be food, ample food, everything that you can think about on the
After you
menu
jump up, you have to find food.
find some nourishment there. And the bars will be, about 4 bars there as well. And of course, there'll be an area for specially invited guests. We're expecting some members of the diplomatic corps to be in attendance and major partners and sponsors as well. And their main stage, which is what I'm looking forward to, is where all of the components, exciting music performers will be engaged and presenting their performances on stage. All right. So we're looking forward to that. And I think we're about 90% set up in terms of the venue. All major infrastructure is already in place. And between today and tomorrow morning, we will be just fine tuning things and sailing along.
All right. So, Ezzy, anything else that you wanted to add to this in terms of what we can look forward to tomorrow? Ezzy? Ezzy? Randy, back to you. All right.
Still not back there yet.
No, he's still not back. No. All right. So, all right. So, let's
Okay, no
continue to.
problem. Well, yeah. So we're very excited to see how all of this is going to turn out tomorrow. We had a walkthrough yesterday with the members of the police force, where security is paramount in terms of our production. We're expecting a pretty large crowd, so crowd control and management will be um, very important to us, and we are hoping that the atmosphere can be one that drives the rest of the expectations for the season. So we've put a lot of work into preparing the venue, into creating an impression that Vincymas is our premier cultural festival, and we expect full participation from everyone who appreciate the culture of Vincymas.
Okay. And I know before that we used to have like whistle stops in terms of where, persons would be jumping, the crews and extra crews, would be coming to the central location. Is that happening tomorrow? What's happening in terms of getting us a
Yes,
community?
well, the traditional whistle stops. I remember those. I remember participating in those myself. Myself as an artist, the Willwood and the Leo. So I know the impact that they would have had in gathering forces in the various communities and bringing them into Kingston for the launch. And so this year we advised that there would be a truck on the road, but the truck would cover from Barley to Stubbs. So early Saturday morning, this sound system would act as mobilization, going into the community, sensitizing persons, similar to the whistle stop. But I think the only difference would be previous years it would have been one on the windward side and one on the leeward
Right.
side. We're constrained with resources as well, so
Okay.
we're trying to split the resources as much as we can. So we begin in Barley, come all the way up, all the way out to the subs area. We'll be making stops and engaging with the community as usual, and sensitizing persons to the launch to attend the launch later on that evening.
Okay. All right. So Ezzy, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. For some
All
reason, the
right.
call
He's
keep dropping
dropping
out. I
out.
don't know why.
All right. So is
Yeah.
there anything that you wish to add to what Bumani would have mentioned?
Yeah, just want to say that the entertainment package that we have is very exciting. A number of these artists who will be performing, they have catalogs and so forth, but you won't be getting an artist performing an entire catalog. It's a part of a production, an entire production that you will see. So they have specific roles to play. They have particular songs that they will be performing, but songs that are would be quite entertaining to the patrons. And in terms of the DJs, it won't be a case where the DJs will be allowed to play whatever they feel like. The DJs have been assigned particular segments. So, for example, one DJ will be playing strictly road markets, another DJ will be playing soca monarchies, one will be playing raga sofa hits, one will be playing road markets, and so on. So, it's an educational activity for folks as well, because persons will be saying, well, the DJs will be announced, well, this is the road march from whatever year by whoever, and that kind of thing. So it will be very entertaining and educational, I must say. The venue layout, Bomani went into the venue layout, and persons who would have seen the layout, a number of persons traveled down onto the tarmac just to have a look. The preparation. So I have to give kudos to all the different crews responsible, the CDC walk crew, the folks from Third Element, from Dynamic Songs, and all the other persons who are involved in making sure that we have an excellent setup and everything in place for excellent production tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed that you said that there is an educational element to it, and I suppose having the DJs given instructions, it also prevents the overlapping, in a sense, of the same type of music, the same songs being
Yes,
played. So that's also a good
correct.
thing. But you know that many persons may look at the launch of Carnival as a young people event, right? For young people
Yeah.
to go because it's for them to jump up and enjoy themselves. But what would you say to the older folks to get to encourage them to come on down to this?
Well, interestingly, that mindset has been changed for this year because when we look at social media and the responses, we have seen a wide cross section, large different demographics, I should say, of persons showing interest in being at the launch. So I think we'll be breaking some barriers this year with this launch, and definitely the entertainment package that we have in store. We have taken that into consideration. So we have entertainment for all age groups that will be presented on stage. And also in terms of the education, a number of persons will be able to see, especially those online, but those at the venue as well. There'll be a SVG Tourism Authority and CDC combined effort to do some videos and so on, and that will be showcased on Saturday night, where we have married elements of Vincymas with tourism sites in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So you'll be able to see, for example, a panman playing at Darkview Falls. You'll be able to see a Californian singing on a beach in Beckley, those kind of things. So it's really selling St. Vincent and the Grenadines along with Vincymas. So we are selling the destination and the festival jointly. And that will be presented on Saturday night as well.
All right, I love the idea of this because I know that. So yes, you would want for persons to be in attendance. All Vincies, you're supposed to be going to Tarmac, right? But for the Vincies who might be living at, like the further ends are, in the Grenadines, who may not be able to attend for transportation reasons or whatever other reasons, what platform can they look at the festivities, the launch of Carnival?
Well, we actually have some watch parties, official watch parties at different places overseas.
Mm-hmm.
We have it the one will be held in New York at Woodfields. There'll be one in Toronto, and there'll be one in Miami hosted by Kevin Little and his crew in Miami. And we're working on having one in London, UK. Okay, but
Taiwan as well.
outside of those who want to make it to those locations for the official watch party, you can view it from your home or wherever you are at work or whatever. There's a link that we'll be sending out. For persons overseas who want to view, we'll be sending that link. I know that persons locally who can't make it will also be, want to view it. So a link will be provided, and we'll circulate that link, and we'll advertise the link as well.
Okay, and
will not be left out.
Or and where should they go to be able to find this link? I know you said it will be circulated, but would it be placed on the Vincymas social media platforms?
Yes, it will be on Vincymas social media platforms. Yes.
All right, so it will be for us in the marketing of not just Vincymas, but the marketing of SVG as well. Everybody can take it and just share it, right? Share it with your friends within the region, internationally, etc. Right?
Yes, we want you launch of March 2025, and since we have taken that.
Okay. All right. So I am going to allow each of you maybe 50 seconds or so to give your final calling card to persons to come on down, not just to the pre-launch, which is happening today, but also to Saturday's event, tomorrow's event. All right. So, Bomani, over to you first.
Well, yes. Well, this afternoon we're inviting persons, particularly if you happen to be in Kingston this afternoon. Just look out for the procession, look out for the parade, which is our pre-warm up to the official launch of Vincymas on the tarmac tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow on the tarmac, beginning at 6 p.m. sharp. 6 p.m. sharp.
Say that again for Vincent.
Yes. You don't want to miss any part of this. It's the biggest launch you would ever see. On the tarmac, we've put in a lot of work in preparing the infrastructure, and we're looking forward to an exciting evening of Vincentian cultural expression, Vincymas. All right, orchestrated for your entertainment and your engagement as we build up to the final 10 days of Vincymas.
All right, and Ezzy?
Yes, that parade later today will be, just a teaser to give you an idea of what is to come at the tarmac for tomorrow Saturday. And I want to use the opportunity to reach out to artists. A number of artists had expressed interest in being on the launch. We couldn't accommodate them all. So for persons who are interested in letting the public hear their song for 2025, they can come to Heritage Square later, and we'll definitely be accommodating any persons as possible who want to perform their track. You have to bring your song on a flash drive, and we'll coordinate with the DJ to get your song played and for you to sing. In terms of tomorrow, I'm really excited. The entire team, production team, the management team, everybody who has a role to play in the launch, we are all excited about what we have to present, because we know what will be presented, and we know that the crowd will be coming. Persons came to the venue and expressed the view that the venue is too small. So when we hear that, we know that the anticipation is high, and a number of persons are showing interest in coming to the activity. But we know an excellent show is in store for you. So, I have to share the good news of Vincymas 2025, which will signal the grand celebration of Vincymas 2025 when we get down into June, July. Thank you very much to WEFM and to all media houses, to all individuals who have been assisting us in spreading the word of Vincymas launch and Vincymas 2025. Thank you very much.
All right. And Bomani and Ezzy, we want to thank you for being here with us. And it's just coming through and just listening to you guys in this interview. It sounds exciting. So if I'm hearing it in your words, I could only imagine what's going to be happening today and tomorrow. All right. So thank you guys very much for being here with us this morning. And of course, for all the hard work that you've been putting in, not just this year, but in all the years from before as well, to making our Vincymas the most spectacular, the hottest carnival in the Caribbean, the door party normal festival in the region. Thank you for making Vincymas what it is. All right. Thank you for your efforts.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.